I might have tipped my hand last episode about what we're in for today, but I think I undersold Judge when I called it gloriously and hilariously awful, because this is so much more than just that. In essence, Judge is the exact kind of anime I love to cover here on Anime Abandon. A forgotten piece of crap that has to be seen to be believed. I mean, sure, it doesn't look like much, but like all the finer things in this life, it's all about the details. The weird, bizarre, and out there details, packed ever so neatly into a tight 45-minute OVA. The who's and when's that surround Judge mean little as compared to what Judge is. Judge is a coked-out horror anime that is blissfully unaware of how insane it is being. Judge is a fun, bowdy, drunken night with your friends spent gasping for air and laughing till your guts hurt. This is Judge. We start off with what looks like a non-flashback as, okay, what in the hell is this salaryman doing in the jungle? He looks like he just got back from a PowerPoint presentation, and here he is in the middle of Tropic Thunder? And just before your mind can even begin to wrap itself around the inanity of Salaryman Jones being offed, we immediately cut to this meek little mouse and the woman who seems smitten by the little twerp.
I'm terribly sorry, sir. It's my fault entirely.
Try to look where you're going in future.
Is that the best you can do?
Nada, please. You've said enough.
But he's so arrogant.
Please, I've said it's all right. I was the one to bump into him. I should have been more careful.
Come here, you. You're just too nice a person. They don't deserve someone like you in this dump.
Ah yes, a spineless little twerp that would bark for you if you so much as give him a mean look. Panties melted. I suppose it takes all sorts in this crazy world, as the rest of the women in the office seem to prefer the alpha in that exchange, including this hapless woman who just so happens to be helping him embezzle money from the company.
Just think you'll be doing it for us, for our life together, for our future.
Darling, I hope you mean that.
Of course I do, sweetheart. I've never been more serious in all my life.
Look, this is my serious face.
You know, for a medium that's known for its insane stories and out there plots, the last thing I would expect to find in an anime story is corporate embezzlement. I don't know, maybe it's just me and my own personal history, but this anime starts on a strangely normal note. I mean, anyone at all familiar with anime tropes can immediately tell that the twerp is a secret badass, and he's going to be exacting some kind of karmic revenge on Alpha here. We've certainly seen that dynamic a number of times, Trinity Blood. Although, to be fair, we have seen it outside of anime too. Thank you, Kevin Rose. So what makes Judge so special? Patience. Patience. But in the meantime, it seems that the twerp is in quite a hurry to get home. Why? Well, he has to get home and sleep with his wife. Well, not his wife per se, but look, no reference is perfect, okay? Still, this is quite a long leap from concerned coworker to hot and heavy lover in a single day, and I'm not the only one who can't connect the two either.
I don't know what's come over me. Going to bed with a weirdo like you.
It's almost like I'm a character in a Frank Miller comic.
You know Keiko Yamamoto, in the accounts department. Well, I think she's seeing Ryuichi Murakami.
Yeah? And how would you know about it?
You know me, darling. I'm very sensitive to love vibrations.
This would normally be the part where I play an Archer, phrasing clip, but I'm not sure what in the world he's actually trying to phrase. Meanwhile, it seems Alpha is having a tense drink with one of his super— oh dear sweet lord! Actually, can I get a few more of those? Thank you. Okay, let's talk design consistency, shall we? Now, we've certainly been witness to a number of wacky character designs over the course of Anime Abandon, but the one thing that anchors even the most outlandish designs is consistency. Say what you will about Apocalypse Zero having the visual sensibility of an 8-year-old with a concerning button fascination, no one character looked out of place, and this is all thanks to a consistent motif. Now, say you take one of the characters, not even one of the monsters in Apocalypse Zero, just one of the everyday human characters, and place them in Jinro. You see how jarring that is? Well, that is this guy in a nutshell. He's just this weirdly drawn businessman that shares nothing in common design-wise with any of the other characters around him. He's not a monster, he's not a demon, he's just supposed to be an everyday human character, with curly Q sideburns and eyes that look like they belong on a Roswell alien. My only theory is that everyone is aware of this guy's hideous deformity, but they're just too polite to say anything about it. And if that's true, then all I gotta say is that there has to be a line before all common courtesy goes out the window. And that line is when you look like a love child between Brack and Zorak. So, Zorbrak here informs Alpha that his girl on the side is suspected of embezzling money, and now he's doubling down on taking care of every loose thread there is, including beating up Mr. Green here and threatening his career.
You should perhaps bear that in mind.
I didn't know you were going away.
What's going on in here?
Nothing. I was just showing my friend Oma the latest karate techniques.
Fell down some stairs.
Fell down some stairs.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know it was you.
Far be it from me to stop you from laying out that blanket party on that poor son of a bitch. I mean, I'm only a security guard after all. Oh man, tell you what, here's my nightstick and pepper spray. You have yourself a good time, you crazy kid. The townie guard is apparently the bearer of bad news, as Alpha's girl has been found dead, suspected of having committed suicide. Just according to Keikaku.
It's all working out according to plan. Including disposing of the girl by staging her suicide. The silly little bitch really believed I loved her.
Man, can you believe that asshole? He drives an Audi. This is the man who uses the lust of the bog roll, and he doesn't tell maintenance. This is the man who eats the last donut in the break room, and leaves the empty box on the counter. This is the man who kills the Joe, and he doesn't make no mo. This man drives an Audi. Audi. Cox love engineering. Now, gird yourselves, people, because when this anime gets crazy, it gets crazy fast and hard. All of a sudden, a murder of ravens crashes Alpha's car and drives him into the negative zone, where a dolled up Mr. Green, and I'm not trying to be cute here, there was a montage of him putting on lipstick and getting his hair did, literally shoves a nail in Alpha's tongue. And then reads him his charges.
Who are you? Too often evildoers escape because their crimes are not discovered, or because they really believe they are right. For centuries, my ancestors have passed judgment on these criminals and prescribed their punishment.
I am the law!
I can't believe it. Even in death, even when you are 6 feet under, pushing up daisies, crossing the River Jordan, giving up the ghost, and buying the farm, you can't escape bureaucracy. I mean, I get why this is called Judge, obviously, but must we be so literal? In fact, if you took the title from the original Japanese, it'd have been Magistrate of Darkness Judge. It sounds like this anime is trying to have a theme here, but I just can't quite put my finger on it.
I quote Article 42 of the Penal Code of Darkness. I am heir to this task, and I am known as the Judge of Darkness. And what I hold here is a collection of all the judicial precedents judged fairly by my ancestors. It is called the Statute Book of Darkness.
I know something's there, but damn it, what could it be? So the setup is that the spirits of the wrong seek out justice, and judges, like Mr. Green, carry them out. Nothing we haven't heard before, but when you stretch that conceit to having actual written bylaws, it becomes a complete farce. It's sort of like in Beetlejuice when the whole of the afterlife operates like a badly run filing service. Even Tim Burton realizes the absurdity of the situation. So what is Alpha's punishment? He's sent stumbling off a cliff and he drowns in the river below.
His spirit should be happy in hell, surrounded by evil and shrouded in his worldly ambitions.
Come on. I know you want to do it. I know you want to be pretentious. There it is! You are just checking off all the boxes on the shit list, aren't you, Judge? So with that little diversion out of the way, we can finally get to the actual plot, namely that salaryman who was gunned down at the top of this head trip. Seems word has just gotten back that he was killed in South America, and so services are held at— Jesus Christ, this guy again! It's like a visual punch in the gut. Yeesh!
Why, Mr. Kawamata? Why him?
Unfortunately, the world is not always a friendly place. And that country in particular is very dangerous, I know, because I worked there for some years myself.
Ah, yes, that dangerous country, South America. Actually, you know what? I'm being unfair. How could law and order ever prevail in such a huge place? I mean, it's practically a continent. But still, it seems that the guy died a hard death, and Mr. Green resolves to get to the bottom of it.
It was Kawamata.
No it wasn't. You saw the face of the guy that literally pulled the trigger. How in the world could you confuse anyone for Zorbrak here? But nope, even though Mr. Green got an eyeful of this guy, it's not him he makes a beeline for. Oh no, it's Zorbrak. Not like I'd expect anyone to jump quickly to his defense or anything, but if Mr. Green goes after people that have wronged the dead, wouldn't he go after both these guys? It's like the thought never even occurs to him. But he zeroes in on Zorbrak anyway, which garners the attention of a spirit defense attorney. Oh yes.
In my humble opinion, you are in dire need of an attorney.
Who the hell, may I ask, are you?
That's not an issue for the time being. The only thing you need to know right now is that I am the only person on Earth who can help you solve your problem.
It's like the voice actor couldn't decide on Peter Lorre or Droopy Dog, so he did both. That's right, people. This anime has officially crossed over into Phoenix Wright territory, and it's just as weird and hysterical as that sounds. Oh wait, Zorbrak is being accosted by a hallucination that explodes into a pile of crabs. It's even weirder! Crabs. I don't know why crabs, I don't know the significance of the crabs, all I do know is that I'm not going to eat at Red Lobster for the rest of the year of 2017. Seeing as how he's in the shit, Zorbrak here puts on a pink fur-lined coat. Jesus, the coloring in this anime, it's like an even more garish Watchman, and he decides to hire Peter. Yes, hire him.
My fee is 50 million yen.
What?
And I adamantly refuse to take a penny more.
But that's an outrageous sum.
Don't you mean a penny less? And what in the world do you need money for? You are keenly aware of the spirit world and how the mortal realm is only but a fraction of the infinite cosmos that stretches the sands of time beyond human comprehension, but I guess you still need 50 million yen to make it rain up in this bitch. Hurt, hurt!
Your task is to pray for the soul of Susumu Yamanobe. Pray for his spirit to rest in peace. Keep praying for a week. Your prayers will draw his spirit here, but don't leave the tent under any circumstances till I say so.
For a week? Dear God, that tent is gonna stink like a porta potty on day 3 at Bonnaroo. Yeah, so they're in the mountains because spirits like to congregate there, but really it's just so that Mr. Green and Peter can duke it out. And to say it's a surreal moment would be putting it lightly.
I see you've come at last.
Who are you?
I plead for the defendants in the Court of Darkness.
What?
Without an attorney to plead for the defendant, the court would be incomplete and the trial could not be properly judged. As the Judge of Darkness, you are obviously aware of this fact, but perhaps you were hoping I wouldn't show up this time.
It's hard to convey just how weird this is, but imagine if Goku was about to fight with Frieza, but then all of a sudden Goku makes a respondeat superior argument that he's liable for Vegeta's actions. Anything to make a JD chuckle. That's the anime abandoned difference. You know, I get in theory what the anime is trying to accomplish, questioning the nature of justice and perceived innocence, and Peter might have a point about how them being mortal means they really don't have a right to determine evil from good.
Only God can be the judge of man's behavior, and who are we to decide what is right and what is wrong? What arrogance is this that allows one man to pass judgment on another?
But when they start throwing spiritual hands, all negative capability is thrown out the window.
These evil spirits will obey my every command. They are tamed by my power.
Don't mean to poo on your parade here, Peter, but if you are taming evil spirits and making them do your bidding, which means choking out Mr. Green here half to death, then yeah, you can go eat a bag of dicks. Also, why in the world is Peter here an avowed Christian, considering he blesses himself and he meets Zorbrak in a church, and yet everything he talks about and does seems at complete odds with every single Abrahamic religion? I guess you could make the argument that this was supposed to be a kind of Eastern religion versus Western religion spat, but if you're not holding either one of them true, then what's the point? Oh, wait, sorry, I've been wrapped up in the minutia so much that I've neglected to mention that Zorbrek's been served.
It means that you have to appear before the judge.
But I thought you said...
I know what I said. Nevertheless, one cannot ignore the call to appear before the Supreme Court of Darkness.
Oh!
Rest assured, I will do everything in my power to defend you.
Now I'm totally confused. You've lost me completely. Judges who are spirits? A Supreme Court of Darkness? Who did you say was supposed to be accusing me?
The Judge of Darkness.
You don't seriously think I believe this crap?
Dude, you have been attacked by evil spirits, crab monsters, and demonic parrots, and now you want to play skeptic? Trains left that station a long time ago. And guess who's bringing up the rear? That's right, our noble Judge of Darkness has possessed his lady love to literally drag him to hell.
Oh my God! It's the cloth crow!
The cloth what?
She strips the clothes off the dead at the gates of hell.
Oh no, not her! That's horrifying. And now Zorbrak is immediately brought before the Supreme Court of Darkness to answer for his guilt over the death of the Salaryman. Yeah, I think this has officially teetered over the cliff of madness, guys. Ah, wait, sorry, the cliff of darkness.
Chingo! Okamu! Inzu! Proteo! Alimbu! Sgoa! Taranzo! Pinodo! Toshino!
Odoniko!
Chief? McLeod?
Take it easy.
This is just a bloody nightmare. And I'm sick and tired of all this schlock horror.
Speak for yourself, dude. I am having a wonderful time. As the courtroom drama unfolds, it seems that Zorbrak might actually be innocent, which begs the question of why the salaryman here even saw Zorbrak in that vision in the first place, or even why Mr. Green pursued him at all.
I don't believe my death was the result of a plot by my old and best friend. It was just bad luck.
What the asshole? You were chased down by a South American guerrilla fighter and shot enough times to bring down Jason Voorhees using Jason Bourne as a shield. You didn't exactly slip on a banana peel. No, if you want to see bad luck, here it is.
He was a threat to my position, and I'm very ashamed to say that I allowed my greed for power to get the better of me to the extent that I killed my best friend.
Get away from there, Kawamata. That mirror is dangerous. It reflects your true thoughts and feelings and reveals them.
Okay, which one of you knuckleheads left the mirror of infallibility out in the open like that, Was it you, Odoniko? You know, I told you over and over again, if you couldn't handle the responsibility of the mirror of infallibility, then I wouldn't get you it for Christmas. I kid, but yeah, this mirror just appears out of nowhere with no lead up or explanation as to how in the world it got there, and basically rats out Zorbrak. You'd think that if they had such a thing, they wouldn't even bother with the whole courtroom dog and pony show, and just hop that mirror in front of the accused and be done with all of this. Or if protocols had to be followed, you know, just throw a sheet over it. So, Zorbrak's shade kills him, his corpse is found by the hapless woman with the shittiest taste in men, and Mr. Green and Peter have a stare down to send us on home. And that was Judge, a silly little oddity that hits every mark I look for in a great bad movie. Bad voice acting? Check. Laughable script? Check. Bonkers premise? Check, check, and check. It'll come as no surprise that such a title has been lost to the sands of time, but if you can find yourself a copy lying in a dollar bin, then I wholly recommend snagging it and making it a part of your Halloween Schlockfest tradition. Or, you know, you could just wait until Discotheque Media picks it up. Well, I hope your Thanksgiving was spent with loved ones, good food, and counting every person and thing you're thankful for. As for me, while I'm thankful for this turkey here, I'm also thankful for one of the most manly anime to have ever hit the States. Till next time.